Have you ever wondered what happens in the exact moment your heart stops beating? Not the spiritual stuff, not the religious theories, but what actually occurs in your body during those first critical minutes when life hangs in the balance. What I'm about to share with you might completely change how you think about death itself. Most people believe death is like flipping a switch. One moment you're here, the next you're gone. But science tells us a radically different story. Death isn't an instant event. It's actually a process that unfolds over time. And during those precious minutes, your body and brain are fighting an incredible battle that most of us never knew existed. Let me paint you a picture of what's really happening inside your body when your heart takes its final beat. The moment your heart stops pumping, a countdown begins. Your brain, that 3-pound miracle that makes you who you are, suddenly finds itself cut off from its lifeline of oxygen-rich blood. But here's where it gets fascinating. Your brain doesn't just shut down immediately. Instead, it launches into emergency mode. Within the first 10 seconds, consciousness begins to fade. Your brain starts consuming whatever oxygen remains in your bloodstream, desperately trying to keep essential functions running. Think of it like a smartphone switching to power-saving mode when the battery gets critically low. Your brain prioritizes the most vital systems while letting non-essential functions go dark. But your brain isn't giving up without a fight. During these crucial moments, something remarkable happens. Your neurons begin firing in synchronized bursts, creating what scientists call a surge of electrical activity. This isn't random chaos. It's your brain's last-ditch effort to survive. And it might explain some of the extraordinary experiences people report during near-death situations. Now here's where things get really interesting. For up to 6 minutes after your heart stops, your brain cells remain viable. They're damaged, yes, but not destroyed. This is why emergency room doctors can sometimes bring people back even after several minutes of clinical death. Your brain tissue is essentially in a state of suspended animation, waiting for that life-giving blood flow to return. During this time, your body undergoes a series of dramatic changes that read like something from a science fiction movie. Your core temperature begins dropping, but not evenly. Your extremities cool first, while your vital organs try to maintain warmth. Your blood, no longer being pumped, begins settling in the lowest parts of your body due to gravity, creating those purplish patches that medical examiners look for. Your muscles go through their own transformation. Initially, they relax completely, which is why the jaw drops and the body becomes limp. But within hours, rigor mortis begins setting in as chemical changes occur at the cellular level. Your muscles literally lock up, starting with the smaller muscle groups and spreading throughout your body. But let's go deeper into what's happening in your brain during those critical first minutes. Recent studies have revealed something absolutely mind-blowing. When researchers monitored brain activity in dying patients, they discovered that the brain doesn't simply fade to black. Instead, there's often a final surge of activity that can be even more intense than normal waking consciousness. This discovery has revolutionized how we understand the dying process. Your brain, in its final moments, might be generating experiences more vivid and intense than anything you've ever felt while alive. This could explain the tunnel of light, the life reviews, and the profound spiritual experiences that so many people report during near-death events. Scientists have observed this phenomenon in both humans and animals. When the heart stops, the brain often produces high-frequency gamma waves, the same type of brain activity associated with heightened awareness, deep meditation, and moments of profound insight. It's as if your brain is having one last, incredibly intense dream. Meanwhile, at the cellular level, your body is beginning its final transformation. Without fresh oxygen, your cells start switching to anaerobic metabolism, essentially trying to create energy without oxygen. This process produces toxic byproducts that begin damaging your tissues from the inside out. Your cells are literally poisoning themselves in their desperate attempt to survive. Your immune system, remarkably, continues functioning for a while after your heart stops. White blood cells keep patrolling your bloodstream, looking for threats to fight off. It's like soldiers continuing to guard a fortress even after the king has fallen. This immune activity can actually continue for days after death, which is why organ transplants remain possible even hours after someone has died. Here's something that might surprise you. Your hair and nails don't actually keep growing after death, despite what you might have heard. What really happens is that your skin dehydrates and shrinks, making existing hair and nail growth more visible. It's one of those death myths that sounds creepy but isn't actually true. Your digestive system tells its own story during this process. The bacteria that normally live in your gut, which helped you digest food while you were alive, suddenly find themselves in an environment without immune system control. They begin breaking down your tissues from the inside, starting the process of decomposition that will eventually return your body to the earth. But what about your consciousness during all of this? This is where science meets mystery. While we can measure brain activity and document physical changes, the question of what you actually experience during those final moments remains largely unknown. Some researchers believe consciousness might persist briefly even after measurable brain activity stops, though this remains highly controversial in scientific circles. The stories from people who've been clinically dead and revived paint a fascinating picture. Many report feelings of peace, encounters with deceased loved ones, or experiences of moving through tunnels toward bright lights. While skeptics argue these are simply the brain's final hallucinations, others suggest they might represent something more profound about the nature of consciousness itself. Recent research has even suggested that some aspects of cellular activity can continue for hours or even days after clinical death. Scientists have successfully revived cellular activity in pig brains hours after the animals died, raising profound questions about when death truly occurs and whether the process might be more reversible than we previously thought. Your body temperature provides another timeline for understanding death. In the hours following cardiac arrest, your core temperature drops approximately 1 to 2 degrees Fahrenheit per hour, depending on environmental conditions. This predictable cooling rate has become a crucial tool for forensic investigators trying to determine time of death. The reality is that death isn't the binary switch most of us imagine. It's a gradual process where different parts of your body shut down at different rates. Your heart might stop, but your brain continues fighting. Your brain might go silent, but your cells keep struggling. Your consciousness might fade, but biological processes continue. This understanding has profound implications for medicine and our concept of death itself. It means that in many cases, death isn't permanent until significant time has passed. It means that the line between life and death is blurrier than we ever imagined. And it means that those crucial first minutes after your heart stops might be filled with experiences we're only beginning to understand. Modern medicine has learned to work within this window of opportunity. Advanced resuscitation techniques can sometimes bring people back even after extended periods of clinical death. Emergency rooms have protocols for aggressive treatment that can restart hearts and restore brain function even when hope seems lost. The next time you think about death, remember that it's not an ending, but a process. Your body doesn't give up easily, and your brain fights until the very last moment. In those final minutes, you might experience something more intense and profound than anything you felt in life. Whether death is truly the end or something else entirely remains one of humanity's greatest mysteries. But science has given us a glimpse into those crucial moments when life transitions into whatever comes next. And the story it tells is far more complex and fascinating than most people ever realize. What happens after those first critical minutes? That's where the mystery deepens even further. But that's a story for another time.